Hi everyone, welcome to Faith Friday. I'm Father Sam Kachuba. Now that we're back into public worship, I hope by now you've had a chance to attend Mass in person, and if not, that you're still able to watch it online or on TV. As we're getting into this, we see some things that are a little bit different, and they feel a little bit strange, but it's good for us to reflect on what they really mean. Right now, you're going to see that the sign of peace in your parish has probably been suspended. If not suspended, then certainly it's not a physical gesture like a handshake or a hug. What you're going to see now is maybe a wave or just a nod of the head. You might not see the sign of peace being offered at all. So let's look at the sign of peace. First of all, it's been present in the church's liturgy for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. It's nothing new, but the way that we do it in the church today is a little bit different than how it was done in the past. One of the challenges with the sign of peace is that it can sometimes turn into kind of a big social moment, and that's not really what it's meant to be. The rubrics that the Roman Missal gives us suggests that the sign of peace should be a sober acknowledgement and a prayerful moment, a solemn moment, where we are prayerfully offering God's peace to the people around us. It's not so much the time to say hello or catch up or find out what's going on. My brother and I, when we were little kids, would kind of like get into a slap fight in the it's not the right thing to do, but like we had these little fist fights, while we're giving each other the sign of peace. We tried to squeeze each other's hands as hard as possible. All right, that's not the point, right? That's not what the sign of peace is supposed to be. The sign of peace rather is supposed to be something very simple. So the sign of peace always exists. The peace of the Lord be with you always, says the priest. Then the people respond, and with your spirit. And so the sign of peace is given right there. We don't necessarily have to go and turn to one another and offer a sign of peace. We don't necessarily have to say anything to one another because the peace has already been offered to us and we have received it. Now, there's something beautiful when the congregation then shares that peace with one another. It harkens back to Jesus' admonition in the gospel. If you go to the altar to make your offering, and there you remember that you have something against your brother, go make peace with your brother first, then come and make your offering. There's something beautiful about making that act of peace with our neighbors prior to approaching to receive the Eucharist. But it's not a necessary, strictly required part of the Mass, because it's covered by the priest saying, the peace of the Lord be with you always, and you responding, and with your spirit. So the sign of peace we might not have. But this is a good opportunity for us to also maybe re-envision how we look at the sign of peace. Is the sign of peace for me a social moment, a chance to kind of wave and see everybody or be seen by everybody? Or is the sign of peace a moment during which I'm going to pray for my brothers and sisters who surround me in the congregation? Am I going to pray in that moment that God would truly give them the peace that they need? And think about the peace that you need in your own life. Where are you struggling? Where do you need the Lord? That's the peace that we're asking God to give to every single member of the congregation when we offer the sign of peace. So in a time when we cannot offer the sign of peace to one another in the normal way that we've gotten used to, let's be renewed in our understanding of what the sign of peace in fact is. The peace of the Lord be with you always. God bless you.